25mm full carbon clinchers. These are some of the lightest climbing wheels on the planet for anything even near this price. We have the full disc brake version here in center lock rotors, and we have the rim brake version as well. These wheels feel absolutely awesome in your hand, but most importantly, when they're underneath you, they are not noodles. I've ridden a lot of light climbing wheels over the years, and they can have deflection and durability issues, neither of which these ones have. You're definitely going to feel much faster going uphill on them, but surprisingly it's the downhills that really matter for a climbing wheel. When you're doing a mountain pass, I was over at the Col de Tourmalet in August this year for the Vuelta, and the descending over there is pretty hair-raising, and you really want a sturdy, good braking wheel underneath you. This disc brake version as well, I'll be showing you something in a sec about that, but for the rim brake, the heat resistance in this resin system is one of the most critical things. I'll bring this up here and focus for you. You'll see here how the rim surface, I don't know if you can get it in this light, it's like a light sort of brown color where the resin actually cooks. There's a rim here I'll show you that has the rim tape off it and unbuilt. I hope you can see that there. That's the white serial number, and it's being cooked brown during the curing process. You have to cure resin at about 15 degrees over the temperature resistance you want to achieve, so the TG or glass transition point. And these are curing up around 300 C, which is super high. There's a lot of factories out there that ain't even near that. The old factory I was at, that I left 5 years ago, where a lot of my competitors still are, they're not even touching the levels of these or the durability. And you can see just how clean this is inside. It's like a baby's butt in there. Like really, this is filament wound clincher hook. So it's wound under load with a mandrel in there. So it's formed with a nylon hoop inside this gets cut and that gets pulled out. That's the only way to get a clean surface like that. For the disc brake, the hub here, you can see how well that is engineered. And I'll go into that in a bit more detail in a sec, but that gives you a bit of a close-up of the wheels so you can see them there a bit better. Now I'm going to pull up a diagram of the rim profile with exact measurements so you can see what's going on with the width, the internals, externals, depth. Now that's just one part of, I suppose, the design process, is getting that rim profile right. The offset drilling in these is really critical too, to make sure the line of the spoke and the nipple is kept straight to the flange, and there's no bending of the final thread on the spoke itself, which is one of the weakest points. So we keep that all straight, and that rim profile has another diagram off it for the drill rig, which is all matched up. Okay, now we're going to do a live weighing of the wheels. The industry standard for weighing wheels is no rim tape, no skewers, no bullet balancers, no cassette caps, no rotors, no nothing, effectively just the wheel. So that's how we'll be showing you the exact weights, comparably with how everyone else does it. The only difference being, I'm doing this live here to highlight the difference between claimed weights and real weights. A lot of wheels I weigh are anywhere from 50 to 150 grams over their claimed weights. Now, even though my weight's going to be obviously very light, they're still very durable. I've got a longer warranty than most. 25mm carbon clincher rim brake Decadence, 1253.7 minus the 40 grams for the rim tape, so it's 1213.7. Website weight is 1210. So yes, bang on. You can see the rim tapes on there. These are the only ones that don't have a bullet balance, because you can run a very small tube in here, the valve stem length, and I offset inside the rim because these rims are a bit small to fit the bullet balance. So that is the rim brake. Let's put the disc brake on there. And we're 1312.3. So if my maths is correct, that'll be 1271.3 grams for the disc brake Decadence 25mm clinchers. We print out the weights of these when we're doing our QC process as well. Caden 25mm clinchers, 1425.9, so 1386 effectively. That's minus the 40 for the rim tape, as we do with the Decadence ones. As you can see, these look almost exactly the same besides the logo. You can't see any real difference because the rim is out of the same mold. The only differences are no nipple patching, so it's the same thickness the whole way around, which 99% of wheels are anyway, so there's no issue there, and we keep this thicker than most companies, even though it's still nice and light. And the hubs are a 6066 forged aluminium hub instead of a 7075, but the spokes, nipples, etc., and all the critical parts are the same as the Decadence. These wheels made it around the UCI testing over 10 times. Effectively, you only have to go around once for the impact test at a certain height. It's a drop weight impact test that goes around the wheel, hits it at multiple points. We just kept going and going and going until we got some yielding. We didn't even get a failure till after 15 times around. So that is a very strong wheel, and that is testament to the filament wound clincher hook and the construction. This factory is second to none. Unless you're doing it in-house like some of the top brands are, and they're all doing filament wound clincher hooks, you cannot find a factory to this level. And I don't say that lightly. I'm the smallest guy there by a long mile. The owners told me I have more molds than most of the big brands do because I have so many different rim sizes, as you can see behind me here. So yeah, it's a serious wheel, yet it's a very nice, lightweight, durable climbing wheel. Tyre sizes. I get asked a lot of questions on this. And the good thing about our wheels is you'll be able to get tyres on and off very easily. I do the inner and outer diameters myself when I was creating the molds to make sure you're not going to be breaking levers or holding the boys up while they're waiting for you to fix a puncture. I've been commented, or multiple clients have commented to me how great they are to get tyres on and off. These will fit any 700C tyre. So whether you've got 21mm, 23mm, 25, 28, 30, etc., etc., you can even fit a 29 mountain bike tyre on this wheel with no problem, because a 29 mountain bike tyre is the same inner diameter as a 700C road wheel. You're not going to do that. Just giving an example of how simple it is. Whatever tyre you want to use, go ahead and use it. Me personally, I run a 25mm rear and a 23mm front. The reason I do that is because a 25mm rear in most clinchers is actually a lot bigger. This is just a weeny bit over 28mm, and the front 23 is a weeny bit over 26mm. So that's more than enough tyre for me. I'm 95 kg and 2 meters tall, and that's what I'm running. I see some really big oversized tyres out there, and when you get to too big a tyre, it will bulge. This here is not bulging, so that's a very big tyre. And you'll see here how beautiful that sits within the profile. It's nice and aero, so what you've got on the leading edge, you've got the air flowing around seamlessly. There's no big bulge and lump, and the interface is clean. That's the critical factor in keeping a wheel aero, is matching it to the tyre. Then on the rear half of the wheel, you've got the wind flowing over here, not separating, not getting angry, and not bulging and flying off. I've said it many times before, if you looked out at your plane wing and there was a massive bulge hanging out the end of the plane wing, that thing ain't flying anywhere. Same as using a big 30mm or a 28mm tyre. If you're going to use them, yes, use it on your rear, but you don't need it on your front. The rear wheel's the one that cops all the beating. So best advantage all round, I think, is a 23 front, 25 rear, or if you've got really shitty roads or you're off-road, a 25, 28 or 25, 27 is still really cool. Okay, valve stem lengths. And write this down please, because you'll need to know what valve stems to order. So the 25mm clincher, get the smallest valve stem length available. I've seen 38s and 40s. If you can only find 48, that's fine. I mean, you can put an 80 on the thing, but it's not going to balance to the bullet head, especially in the larger sizes. Each size should I say, as the valve gets longer, has a heavier bullet head to compensate it and to keep the flywheel effect of the wheel and stop death wobbles. So for the 38mm, you need a 48mm or 50mm valve stem length. They're the two sizes that are generally available for the 38mm clincher. For the 49mm clincher, you need a 60mm valve stem length. For the 59mm, you need an 80mm valve stem length. And for the 81mm, you need an 80mm or a 60mm valve stem length, and I'll send you 2 different extenders so you have a choice for a couple of different options. They're free. That's the only wheel extenders come from besides the tubbies. So the Clinchers, you don't need extenders, which is great. You want to avoid them if you can. But I've got a custom extender for the 81, which is really good. The other thing with my wheel is because it's a filament wound Clincher hook, it's super smooth inside the Clincher hook itself. There's no rough, coarse material like you get on a mold butt form rim where you get variation and voids and sharp pieces inside. A very large company at the moment is not allowing lightweight race tires with thin sidewalls because effectively, they haven't stated this, but this is why it's happening. The Clincher hook is scissoring in to the light sidewall and then blowing out the sidewall after a few hundred Ks. You can literally lick the inside of my Clincher hook. I've shown clients this because it's so smooth, and you won't have any scissoring of the sidewall, so you can run beautiful lightweight race tires without having the fear of any failures on the side. I personally run just lightweight butyl tubes. If you want to run, you can run any tube you want, obviously. Latex is good, but not much better than butyl, and it's expensive and it's a bit more fragile, and you need to keep pumping it up. So a nice set of light race tires with a lightweight butyl tube will just roll superbly. So these are the bullets that I hand weld. You can see they're all beautifully rounded on the back there, so there's no chance of any issues because they sit up under the rim tape. They have a little sticker on the back of them, then the rim tape as well. And so there's no chance of any issues with your tube or any problems on the back of them. That stops there. The reason I use bullets is they're the perfect size to fit in here and they're separate weights, and it's cool as hell to have bullets in your wheel making you go quicker. So that's the 38, that's the 49, that's the 59, that's the 81. And I got a little tickler pistol bullet head for the 81s, depending if they need a little bit more balance or not, just to keep them really special, because the 81s you want super balanced for TT to keep that flywheel and speed effect going. The other questions I get asked are through axles. So through axles for all modern bikes since about 2016, and even before that, a lot of them were 12mm by 100 front, 12mm by 142 rear through axle. So if you got any bike over that age, you can be pretty much guaranteed that that's the through axle size you'll have, and that's the set sizing for the Decadence hub here. So this hub, you can see it there, beautiful little creature that it is. That is a 12mm through axle by 100 for the front. This is the front wheel. Now, if you have a bike that's a different size than that, you can then choose a Caden option disc brake wheel, and we have every single adapter available, but the Decadence ones are locked out 12-12 for weight saving and the fact that 100% of road bikes are now that standard. They are center lock rotors. You can see this here, that's a center lock mounting. Now, I do have some very exciting news. I'm bringing out a floating rotor system for center lock. No one has made one yet. Floating rotors, I think, are mandatory to stop heat warp on rotors. All racing motorbikes have them. A lot of mountain bikers use them, but for some reason the road industry hasn't picked up on it. So I'm having to custom make one. I didn't want to do that. It's costing me money and wasting my time. I wish someone would have already done it. But I'll be bringing those out very soon, so keep an eye out for a disc rotor video with a floating attachment system that allows expansion of the rotor under heat, so the central bit can stay where it is and the tops don't warp under load. You'll notice in your current disc brake rotors for road, after you've gone down a hill, they'll rattle around for a while till they cool down. So that's all avoidable stuff. For the rim brake, we still have the beautiful titanium skewers, which you can see pictures of on the page itself. So that's the overview for the 25s. Give you a last little sneak peek here so you can see some of the definition here on the logo. Beautiful, subtle little hexagon water slide logo with a protective coating over the top. No crap stickers, nothing epoxy, no buck teeth on your wheel and big logos flaring around. The nipple patching here you can see as well is beautiful. Each one of those is hand put on. They're not easy to do. You have to cut each one, but I want to highlight the nipple patching on the wheel because that is one of the critical differences of my wheels compared to others. And there's only really a few mountain bike companies that do this. I'm amazed more road ones don't, but you know, that's the safest way to save weight and keep the wheel structurally sound. Now, a lot of new drive systems, group sets, 9, 10, 11, 12, maybe even 13 speed, etc. Are always changing, and we are on top of that and will always make drivers to fit every wheel. Caden or Decadence has every single driver type there is. I get asked this question a lot. You will not be superseded. We're not in the game of making things like a lot of other wheel companies have done in the past, where you can't swap out to the new standard. That was from, say, 10 speed to 11 speed. You had to buy a whole new wheel. They didn't make a component to crossover. We will not be superseding for sales. We will be making sure that all current and existing models are available with any new drivers. Probably the newest one to come out will be the Shimano spline system. That will probably end up being a 12 speed. Touch wood, there's not too much talk of more 13 speed. We don't need an extra gear for marketing. We just hopefully will stick with this, but if there is 13, we'll do that as well. Now, I hope you can see this. The reason I'm showing you this rim profile cut with some rim tape in it is because I worked really hard to avoid ghost punctures. Effectively, if rim tape is too narrow, it can slide in the rim, exposing one of the assembly holes, and then the tube can creep into it and explode internally. People will think they're getting punctures all the time. I had a guy come in just last week about this, and then I blew up one of the tubes that he'd just punctured on, and I saw that the puncture was on the inside of the tube, not the outside, and that let me know straight away he was getting an internal puncture from bad rim tape. So this does two things. The rim tape is nice and wide, it can't slop around in the rim and expose a hole. It also stops the tube from creeping under the tire bead. I meaningfully make my clincher hooks. I designed this whole hook system myself because I've seen lots of other wheels where the tire bead sits proud and high in here and there's a gap under it, and then the tube creeps under the tire. So when you hit a pothole, it pushes down on the tire and the tube's sitting underneath it. Hey presto, snake bite. With my tires, with my rim clincher hook, should I say, you can't get the tube underneath the tire bead. Tire bead sits snug up here, and then the rim tape, so it's a nice soft area for the tube to be sitting on. Avoid ghost punctures, avoid snake bites. As far as disc brakes go on road bikes, they've got very small, what I think is underpowered disc brake systems, and they can generate a lot of heat, especially for a big guy like me. So I'm developing my own disc brake rotor that has a floating system, not a fixed system like this. Currently all road bike rotors are fixed system. I was speaking with Glenn Alton, 3-time Superbike champ, and I used to do some motorbike racing as well. All their rotors have a floating system, so the expansion joint can happen in between here, 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 and here, and it keeps the rotors from getting heat warp and chatter and noise, etc., etc. So I'll have that coming out very soon, as well as some heat dissipating brake pads with larger cooling fins on them. So watch out, it'd be cool. All Caden wheels have a weight limit to at least 110 kg and are tested well above that by myself and machine testing. The reason for that is this beautiful filament wound clincher hook here, which holds the structure perfectly with no voids or air bubbles and 100% bonding in one piece the whole way around the rim. The second part of that is the nipple patching. You can see how thick this bit is here. This is not one of my rims. I'm just showing this as an example so you can see it. Very thin nipple bed here. It's almost as thin as mine where it is in between the spans, let alone where this beautiful chunky bit where it needs to be, the nipple going through the rim. Also zero voids. Hopefully you can see this on the focus here, but there's voids around here and in here. This is where you don't want them, right on the braking surface, which is where all the heat happens, and you will get delamination failure on that point, which you will not get with the Cadens. All the UCI test is an impact test from a certain height, going around the wheel, hitting it in multiple points. Once you've achieved that, you pass the UCI test. We keep going times 10, 15 before we have any yielding, let alone a small crack, no structural catastrophic failures. If you fail the test, if a piece falls out of the wheel effectively, or you have a massive crack in the wheel, we've never done that. So passing all the tests And yeah, there's no loss in getting a Caden wheel comparably to a Decadence. It's just the cost of manufacturing difference in between the two is 150 for each wheel, or 100 if you're in the US, or 100 if you are in Euro. So how do Caden compare? Well, I've got a couple of competitors around my range. You've probably had a good look at them if you're online. And the easiest way to answer that question is to just check the specs for yourself. Almost every time they'll be narrower, a lot heavier. One of my main competitors generally is about 200 plus grams heavier than my wheels. They won't have nipple patching, they won't have the bullet balancers, they won't have 3D Forge 7075 hubs, and they won't have the lemon next to the pie, and that is we do pay for import duty into countries. So we do delivery duty paid, because usually if you order a set of wheels and they arrive, you can pay anywhere from sort of $200, $300, $400 on top of it to get it cleared by customs. So when you look at the type of wheels we're making, I mean, this thing is an absolute weapon, just about to be released, and the TT disc as well. The tubular version of the TT disc is 810 grams. The tubeless version of the TT disc is only 860 grams, and these are weighing in at about 850 for the tubeless version and about 700 for the tubular. So yeah, I don't see companies in my price range making wheels like this. We are an end-to-end wheel company with top-end race products that are affordable, service, 3-year warranty. I think the choice is pretty easy, guys. Enjoy.